a new layer, and let's just call it floors, because we're just talking about the bulk of the floors in general. And we're going to select OK. Now, being on our plan view so that we can begin to select things and move it to our new floors layer, this is what I'm going to do. Go up to my magic wand tool. Remember, it is the fourth tool down. You may need to right click and choose magic wand. And when I click in the living room area, as you can see, it's glowing a line around everything, my perimeter. Holding down my shift key, I'm also going to select the bedroom flooring too, because I want all of that flooring to run across and be the same. Now I'm going to just turn and click to my floors layer on the right hand side, because whatever I do now will be on the floors layer. I'm going to then go to my internet, and I'm just going to type in the wood I'm looking for. It's best to do seamless woods and things like that when you are searching from the internet, so you won't have any line breaks in your patterns. And you can just go to your images. You'll find that image that you're looking for. If you're in your Google search, you may see and hover over these images, and they may say license. Those are the ones that are you're not able to copy. You may want to just find one that says product, and then from there, those are the better ones to copy. So right now, I'm just going to go to this similar image and just kind of look around and find something that really stands out to me. And I think I want to go with a smoother plank. So because it's a hotel space, so you know, when you are picking out this, you want to make sure if you have like a mood board or whatever your finishes were, that they are pretty consistent with what you are finding. Let's see. I'm being a little picky here. Once you find the image that you're looking for, you want to go ahead and just copy that image. After you copy the image from the internet, you're going to go back to your Photoshop. You're going to go to File, Open a New Drawing. So you're going to just say New. Notice that it will already be on the clipboard setting, which is great. Then you're just going to select and press Create. You can change the title of this if you want, but you don't have to. So select and create. It is now going to open up, which should be opening up in your space. You have your new sheet ready to go, and then you're going to just paste it. So you're going to press Control V. And now your wood sample is here. If the color did not come in correctly, or you want to change the color, you will simply hold down Control and press U, so that you can kind of play around with your color and make it darker or a little lighter. I'm going to choose to go a little lighter here for my flooring, and then I'm going to select OK. Then from there, we would do the exact same steps as we did before. We're going to go down to Edit. We're going to define this pattern, and now we're just going to rename it Wood 2, because I already have wood in there as 1. I'm going to select OK. Then you're going to simply go back to your original plan and then be ready to drop this flooring in. Making sure that I had everything selected. I'm going to switch back to my floors layer. I'm going to go up to the marquee tool, right click, and then I'm just going to go down as we did before to fill. And then you're going to choose the pattern that you just created and select OK. And it populates in your drawing. If for any reason, again, you want to make any changes, you would click on your floors with your right click over that layer, and you would bring up and just go to your pattern overlay, and again, You can make any changes. You can scale it up so that it is give you that realistic feel. Whatever works for you. Just gonna see what it looks like if I scale it up a little more. I'm just gonna move this out of the way. Sometimes it gets a little stubborn. I'm gonna just kind of scale that back down. Too large, too grainy. That's good there. Once it's set to the scale that you want, double check your color. Make sure it is going in the right angle and the direction. You can select OK. And now you're all set. Notice that the overlay for our doors is now not seen. We can't see that wood flooring. You can always go to your doors layer. Let's come out of this command because I'm still in it. There we go. Then go to my doors layer. I can again take my magic wand and now just kind of click inside of my doors, holding the shift key down. Go to my select or marquee tool, right click and go over to fill, or I can just double click in the actual door layer and do it as a pattern overlay or underlay. It's up to you. Putting in your wood flooring so that it shows up when we now scroll into our drawing. We can see that wood flooring is under there. You can always go onto that layer again and then also adjust any of the opacity of your door swing. But we're just gonna leave it like that. But notice that when I put that wood in here, it now is shown in my bathroom. So it's all about the order in which you want to do this. You can do them separately, individually, it's just up to you. I'm going to go back into my door layer and I'm just going to turn off my pattern overlay because it looks good no matter which way it goes. Thought I turned that off. Okay, there we go. Now let's go ahead and begin to kind of scroll into this drawing. There we go. And let's say we want to give our buffet bar or even the countertop in our bathroom a little bit of granite top or some type of top, laminate, granite, it's up to you. You would do the exact same thing that you did for your floors. You would go to the internet. You can use, for me, I am using my Microsoft, or you can use Google, but I'm just going to type in granite. When I type in granite, the different images come up, or I can make sure that I am on images so that then I can see granite pieces. From there, you would choose the one that works best for you. Once you find the one that you like, you would copy your image. And again, return to your Photoshop. Again, we're gonna open a new. It's already on the clipboard. Select OK. And then copy or paste it onto our space here. Going down to edit, we're going to define the pattern. And we're going to call it Granite 1. Selecting OK. Returning to our hotel suite. Now, we need to go to our plan view. But before we're doing that, we're going to add a new layer. And let's call it our countertops or tops. And select OK. So we now have a tops layer located on the right side of our screen. We need to be in our plan view, use our magic wand and grab the top of the sink here or the buffet, hold down our shift key, and also grab the top of our bathroom if we want it to be the same. Then we need to transfer over to the tops layer. Take the marquee tool, click anywhere inside of either the bathroom sink or the buffet top, and then you're going to select the word fill. Going down to your pattern and see those tops open up for you. And now they're pasted to your drawing. And again, you can go through the same steps with scaling them. You can always click. You can go to your pattern overlay. Make sure that it's on those tops. Make sure it's snapped to the origin. And then you can begin to scale them to your likings. Once you're all set, select OK. Click anywhere into space and come out of your drawing. You will find and see that when you're picking these materials and going through the internet and going this route and just kind of selecting everything and creating your layers in the beginning is so much easier than that first step that we learned. But I definitely, again, as I mentioned, wanted to make sure that you have both ways, the more detailed technical version and then also this quick version in plopping these images into your Photoshop. Now, as we begin to move forward in your drawing and we are beginning to put in these realistic features, another thing that we want to make sure that we're starting to do now is beginning to create some shade and shadow as we begin to add the texture, because we want to give the image depth. So right now I have scrolled down and I have clicked on my walls layer because we want the walls to appear as though they're raised up. So what we're going to do is right click onto our walls layer. We're going to scroll up to where it says blending options. And we're going to go ahead and just do a drop shadow. I'm going to be paying attention to my preview area to see what this is looking like. We want to set a stroke, and we want our stroke to be at 1 pixel. And then we also want to add some shadowing so that it looks like the walls are sitting up higher. Once those are set, you can then select OK. And notice how my walls appear now to have a shadow beneath them. Scrolling up to even your countertops, you can right click again, and you want to kind of now also create some blending options with this as well. Maybe you want a shadow underneath them because it is a top that sits higher and over your floors. So moving that over just to kind of look at our preview. We definitely want that texture to stand out. And if you want to contour, this is all about just kind of playing around with your drawing to see is it becoming to be raised up? And if you notice, right along the edge of, move this over, right along the edge of your countertop, it now has a little bit of depth in the front of your bathroom as well with some shadowing. But we can always add more shadowing. You can click on your drop shadow and you can adjust how much you want to be seen. And select OK. And now you can kind of look back at this image and just see the difference that we have already begun to create. The next piece that we're going to discuss is now pulling in that furniture. Again, you will do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and go to my Google, or again, for me, I'm going to use my Microsoft to pick out that piece of furniture. With my Microsoft or your Google open, you're just going to type in what you're looking for. So I've already typed in love seat top view. From here, I'm just going to kind of scroll down to find a love seat or image that works best for what I am trying to achieve. If I decided to select this image here, what I'm going to do is the same thing as we did with our textures, is we're going to copy the image. Once again, go back to your Photoshop, but now I'm just going to go ahead and Control V so that I can paste it. As you can see, it applies and comes up on my screen. Notice if in my layers over to the right, I have a layer 1 in here. I can go ahead and change the name now, or I can do it later. But for now, I'm just going to kind of work on my sofa or love seat and getting this into place, and then I'll worry about changing the layer name. If for some reason that you copy and paste your image and you can't find it, but you see the layer, you may have to move the layers around so that that layer 1 eventually makes it up to the very top, because you want it sitting on top of the floors, or it doesn't matter if it's sitting on top of the doors, but you definitely want it to be the top layer, because if it is under the floors, let's take a look what happens. Now it's falling behind my floors and I can't see the image. So we want to make sure that layer that you are creating, the new layer, is on top. From here, we're going to go ahead and just, like we were doing, move our image into place. And I'm just kind of putting it alongside of it because I need to kind of scale this so that it fits. So taking my grippers, I'm going to begin to scale, and notice that I'm looking at the back of this love seat and on the actual floor plan, and then the back on the drawing, and then also the front, and just kind of matching them up a little bit here. Then I'm going to just move it, and now I'm going to match the outside arms up. And if I kind of put it over, okay, perfect. It's kind of a good match. At least right now it appears to be. But what happens here is, now I have this white space that I need to get rid of. Well, I'm on my layer. I'm going to use my magic wand, click it, and notice that the outside walls or the outside perimeter is highlighted. So then I can just simply press delete, and it has now deleted that outside border. Clicking out into space, I can go ahead and begin to scale this love seat a little more to get it to fit up into place. I'm gonna undo that last move that I made. And you want to try to get it as perfect as you can. You will run into some hiccups, but for the most part, it all works out. So now we have just dropped our furniture onto our floor plan or plan view. Now you can call this love seat, or you can just leave it for now and eventually merge layers together like I'm going to do. Let's go ahead and find our chair. So going back to the internet, I'm just going to type in side chair top view. And I will find something either that meets the footprint or what I'm trying to achieve. Copy that image, go over here. Now I'm going to paste it. I then can go down to edit this pattern because I need to transform it by rotating this. Oop, I actually rotated in the wrong direction. That's okay. Just gonna keep going. And one more time. Or I can use the grippers to rotate this around. I don't have to go to edit and transform. I'm gonna move my chair into place. I'm gonna kind of scale this down and just kind of lining it up. And if it's too much or too big to see, you can always just go ahead and immediately use your magic wand to delete out the border and then begin to move it and scale it into place. Oh. I want to make sure that I'm on that layer. And it usually gets everything, but sometimes as you can see, it's not getting all of the pieces. I actually could have chosen just another type of chair that was more of a plain view. And you know what? I think I am, because it just really doesn't do what I needed to do. So sometimes you will get in your images and say, hey, you know, this just really isn't what this wasn't what I was looking for. So don't feel defeated if you have to go back and find something else. Sometimes when I make it one word, I get some better results. And just kind of look around until you kind of find that one. You can even take images and cut them up, download, you know, copy and paste them into your program, and then cut off other pieces of the furniture that you don't need. So say you wanted to grab a set, you can go ahead and cut that the remainder images that you don't need off using the wand tool. Notice that when I deleted that one, my layer deleted as well. So now I'm back to layer 2. Rotating my image. Moving it into place. Scaling it as needed. Making sure that I'm on that layer. Using my magic wand to kind of get rid of things that I don't need. I'm going to move this over again. Give it a setback. Now, one of the good things is that some of your images may come with some shadowing around it. So that can be a good thing. So now, as you can see the back of that chair, and it is placed on your plan. Now you can say, all right, this is the furniture that I want to have for now. So, and I have layer 1 and layer 2 and they're not labeled. But remember, you can take your layers, click layer 1, shift, hold down, and click layer 2 and then layer 1. And when you right click, you can go to where it says merge the layers. Now they're just one. And then we can go up to where it says layer and rename it and call it furniture. Or let's call it soft furniture. Soft living room furniture. So we know these are the soft pieces, meaning the chair and the love seat. Press enter, and now they're on a layer together. Again, when we want to begin to make it look realistic, we want to go to some of those blending options. And now we want to give it a drop shadow to show that it is sitting on the flooring. You can choose how much shadowing you want, what the spread is. Looking at the preview area over here, this is where you kind of gotta just play around with it. Notice that when I increase, I have more shadowing at the front. Just giving it a little bit of the size of it, the spread. You want to spread all the way out, all the way around. Just give it just enough to give it that illusion that it is raised and it has some depth between the sofa and the floor with this shadow that we just put inside. You can give it an inner glow to show that there it is going a little bit, because maybe there's some lighting that is above this space here. And then also maybe some shadowing, some inner shadowing to show again some lighting here shining on that table. Now this is beginning to really look like it is a real life image. Select OK. And you're all set. Now you would do the exact same thing for all the other pieces of furniture in your space.